Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing today? Happy Sunday. Are you guys getting relaxed, rejuvenated, refreshed, and renewed for the week ahead? I am. And as you know, Sundays are my favorite day of the week. I love Sundays so much. And I've had a really, really good Sunday so far. So it's beautiful out in Indianapolis. I think as soon as I get done vlogging today, I am going to put on my walking shoes, and I don't think that I can wear the compression shorts anymore. I think it's a little cold for that. But I'm gonna put on some sweatpants, and I think I'll probably just keep on this like t-shirt and this jacket, and then I think I'm gonna go for my walk and put on my sneakers and go for a walk and try to finish or get near the end of the Misfortune book today. And then I can start the next Misfortune book tomorrow. And then the Blue Hour, or Bluest Hour, whatever it's called, by Paula Hawkins, which is the November book for Peter's Book Club. And then on Friday, after Thanksgiving, I can start all of the Christmas books, which I'm really, really excited about. So, I feel like the last 24 hours, I've talked to like 4 of my friends about reading all Christmas books starting on Friday. I'm really excited about it. A lot of my friends are starting it already. They've got all their Christmas decorations up, and they're reading the Christmas books, and they're watching the Christmas movies and all that kind of stuff. But I'm actually not going to start the Christmas books until I think Friday. And then, when is the 1st? Is the 1st next Monday? Hold on a second. The 1st is... Oh, the 1st is next Sunday. So starting next Sunday is when I will be reading the 25 Days by Per Jacobson. And I'm going to read a chapter every single day, because it's like an advent calendar mystery thriller book for Christmas. So I'm really excited about that. But I have 10 thrillers. I have the whole list right here. Hold on a second. Where is it at? Christmas books. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 Christmas thrillers. One of them are mysteries. One of them is in a series. And the other one is one of Peter's, is the Peter's Book Club pick for December. And the Per Jacobson book is not on here. So I guess I actually have 11 Christmas thrillers that I'm reading. And then I think did I screenshot it, or did I add it to, I don't remember if I added it to my Goodreads list, or, I don't think, I didn't screenshot it. So I must have added it, not to my Goodreads, to my Audible. I must have added it to my Audible wish list. Maybe it'll just show up here. There's like a couple Christmas books that I was looking at last night, but they're like Christmas romances, and, I'm not like really, like that's not my thing. I love to read the mysteries and thrillers. There's actually quite a few really good like Christmas romances that just came out this year, if that's what you're into. What is this? The Christmas Party? I might have to look at that later and add that to my list. I think that was on my list already, and then I looked it up and I was like, no, I don't want to read it. But that's like a free download, I think. Yes, it's included with your membership. Let's see what this is about. Maybe I already have it on my list. Oh, it's short. I think I have this on my list. Let's look and see. Christmas Party. Where'd I put? Christmas books. I don't have it on there. Maybe I should add it, and then we'll have 11 books. Should I add it? But anyway, there was like 2 Christmas. There was one about this Christmas romance. It just came out. It's actually kind of long. It's like 13 or 14 hours, which for me is long on Audible. But it's about this woman, and she lives in some town that's like everything is devoted to Christmas, and then she's like real over it, and she's real bitter about it, and then she kind of like steps into it and fully like engages in it, and then she has like this unlikely romance or something like that. It reminds me of, I think I put it on my, let me see, where's my wish list? How do you find your wish list on Audible? Dun 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 dun. It reminds me of those Emily, I can't think of what her name is. She writes all those romances like Beach Reads and all that kind of stuff. It reminded me of that. I put it on my wish list because I might go in here and order it afterwards, but now it's not coming up. I don't know why. Oh well, it doesn't matter. I'll talk about it. I'll talk about it in my Christmas booktube video. So what was I gonna say? So yeah, so that's my plan for today, is to get off here and walk. It's actually really, really nice. Let's do a little time and temperature check. I haven't done that already, have I? It is 3:52. Have I already done a time and temperature check? Well, if I have, this is the second time and temperature check. It's 3:52, and it is, I looked at it earlier. Well, when I got up, it was 55 degrees. And then when I looked earlier, it was 57 degrees, and now it's 58 degrees and sunny. Did I already do a time and temperature check? I don't even remember. I'm like, was that yesterday? Oh, I didn't vlog outside yesterday, did I? I vlogged inside. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So yeah, so it's a beautiful day. And there's actually a lot of people walking. So I'm going to walk today and try to get back into the walking thing and get my Misfortune book done, and then finish the next Misfortune book, and then the November book for Peter's Book Club. Then I'm completely caught up on Peter's Book Club. And then I have one book left for True Crime Book Club, but I don't really like to listen to those until we do the live stream because I want it to be fresh in my mind. So yeah, and if you're part of True Crime Book Club or Peter's Book Club, I will be making that announcement this week on my Peter Likes Books channel. So that's what I have planned for. Alex and I are completely caught up. Last night we watched House of Villains. As soon as he got home, he was like sitting on the couch and he was like, I said, do you want to watch House of Villains? And he was like, yeah, we can watch House of Villains. So we watched House of Villains from last week. And then he watched something else down here. And I was like doing stuff on the computer. I don't remember what he was watching. And then I went upstairs. I think we both kind of went upstairs about, I think it was like 10:30. And he was like, are you going to lay down for a little bit? And I said, yeah, I think I'm going to lay down till like 12. I'm going to take a little bit of a nap. And he was like, okay. And so he like got into bed and he like plugged in his phone. I was like, are you going to watch a TV show or something? He was like, no, I think I'm going to go to bed. I was like, it's early on a Saturday night. He's like, I'm really tired. I'm going to go to bed. So he went to bed about 10:30, 10:45 last night and slept until 11 today. So he got full 12 plus hours of sleep. So I got up at 12 last night, and then what did I went through a bunch of shows last night to see like what I wanted to watch. I'm trying to think of what I went through. I looked at the trailer for The Clearing. I looked at the trailer for The Fall. I looked at the trailer for like 5 or 6 different shows, and I was like, okay, go to your list and pick out something that you want to watch off your list. And so many people had talked about Mindhunter, and I knew that Alex had watched it. He said today he only watched the first season. He didn't watch the second season. I know Mel loves the show. So many people that I know love the show Mindhunter. So I went in to go watch it, and when I went in, it was like, you know how you can see like on your streaming apps, like Netflix, it's on Netflix, how you can see like how much of the show you watch, or if you watch the show, it like has a red line, you know, to where you stopped on it. And so when I looked at it, it was like I'd watched the first and second episode, and then I was halfway through the third episode. And I was like, I'm going to have to watch these episodes that I like already watched. So I started it over from episode 1, lit all my candles, made a cup of coffee. It was very cozy and all that kind of stuff. And I started watching Mindhunter from episode 1. I didn't really remember it at all. I remember that he like started dating this girl that he meets in a bar. I did remember that part. And I remembered them like moving to the basement and setting up an office. But the way that I remember it is not how it happens in the show. So I must not have been paying very much attention to it when I watched it before. So I started Mindhunter last night because so many people talked about how great it was. And I mean, like on all these like TV show forums that I'm on, and I read everything about it, and these like Facebook groups about psychological TV shows and thrillers. Everybody's always swearing about Mindhunter. Okay. So I kept on watching it last night, and I kept on watching it last night. It's really well done, and it's very intensive. But I remembered what I didn't like about the show. So yes, they kind of help solve cases through it, but it's really about how they came up with, like the behavioral unit came up with the idea of serial profiling, which they call sequence killings at the beginning, and then later they turn it into serial killing. I think we read the book for True Crime Book Club, and so I don't remember the cases, but what they do is it's about these 2 guys, and they go from town to town to town, and they like talk to police departments about like how to like solve murders and things like that, using like basically using profiling, even though they don't call it profiling yet. So it's these 2 guys and then this woman that's like this professor at like Boston College, and they are, is it by John Douglas? Is that who this whole thing is about? Mindhunter is based on, I'm gonna look it up, I think it's, oh, I have all the Alex Cross books in order. I'm thinking about going back and reading all the Alex Cross books from James Patterson. I don't know why I'm on this James Patterson kick, I have no idea. Mindhunter, I think it's based on the book Mindhunter by, is it by John Douglas? Based, hold on a second. Yes, Mindhunter's based. The show is based on the story of the FBI's Behavioral Skills Unit early efforts to study serial killers and psychopaths in the late 1970s, early 1980s. John Douglas, the author of Mindhunter inside the FBI's elite serial crime unit. Robert Ressler, a colleague of Douglas's in the FBI's Behavioral Sciences Unit, and Ann Wilbert Burgess, a psychiatric forensic nurse researcher who collaborated with FBI agents. The character of Wendy Carr is based on her, based on Burgess. Yes, Mindhunter is based on a true story and inspired by John Douglas and Mark Olshager's eponymous true crime novel. However, the show is a fictionalized dramatization of the real events that occurred in the late 1970s, 1980s when criminal profiling was in its early stages. So it's really about how this like team comes up with the idea of criminal profiling, which we know so much about today, right? So it's really like the beginning stages of that. It's interesting from that point of view. I totally understand why Mel loves this show, because Mel loves these kind of shows that like deep dives into like the origination of the origin of like how things start like this. For me, I would rather if it was just like one case and they were like following one case. That's what I get interested in, is the cases, right? I'm not real interested in this kind of like, it's fictionalized, and so there's like stories behind the scenes that are going on with that, and that's kind of interesting. But like they go and they interview like all of these like serial killers, like Ed Kemper and things like that, and to find out more about like what's in the mind of the serial killer. It's interesting, but it's not really scary. I wanted like a scary thriller, but I'm gonna watch it because everybody says it's so good. So I'm currently, am I on the 5th or the 6th episode? I wrote it down last night right as I was going to bed. Weekly TV. I'm in my weekly TV list. So I'm at the beginning of episode 6. So I have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of season 1. So I might finish that tonight. Depends on if I take like a long nap or something like that this afternoon. If not, then I'll probably watch it. I'll probably read a little bit this afternoon because I'm really into like the reading of the paperbacks again. But it's okay. It's just okay. Like, I to be honest with you, I'm hoping that it gets better. So like with each town they go to, there's like a case they solve. And then the behind the scenes, you can tell that there's like this guy that he's like setting up this crime to do. And so it's kind of like, in every episode they start the episode with that. And so I feel like it's gonna, like, the whole season's like aimed at, they're gonna solve this case that this guy has something to do with, and that's how it's gonna tie up. And I have a feeling the second season is more based on them just like, you know, chasing and going after criminals and things like that. But I mean, people are literally like so pissed that the show got canceled on Netflix and stuff. It's just okay. I mean, at this point, 5 episodes in, for me, of all the stuff that I watch, like the Alex Cross show, fantastic. This, compared to the Alex Cross show, is just okay. I think the importance of it in talking about the FBI and criminal profiling and things like that, obviously the importance of this is, it's like, it explains a lot about how they go in and they figure out things and they start figuring out serial profiling. But as far as like a fast-paced, binge-worthy show, no, it's not. It's slow. It feels very slow to me. Like, I was on the 2nd episode last night, I almost stopped it. I was like, now I understand why I didn't watch this all the way through. Did anybody have the same feeling with Mindhunter as me? I feel like the common consensus is that everybody loves this show so much. So I was kind of surprised. But I was like, I'm not going to give up on this show, not a second time. Like, I've got to watch, I think maybe this is like my 3rd or 4th time trying it. So I was like, I've got to finish it. It's interesting because when I was talking to Alex about it on the way to brunch today, because he was like, what did you start binging last night? I was like, Mindhunter. And I was like, you watched both seasons and loved it, didn't you? And he was like, I only watched the 1st season. And he was like, I don't remember if I loved it or not. He goes, I know I remember I loved Dexter more. He was like, I thought Dexter was better, because he compared them both kind of a little bit. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. My neighbor's doing all her gardening for winter. They got all their cars out in the driveway. They're like cleaning out their garage, and they're getting winterized for the winter. So I watched that last night, and It's like an active neighborhood today. My neighbors on the corner are leaving. Yeah, it was, so I took a good nap. I'm like sleeping better during my naps than I'm sleeping like when I sleep at night. So, where do I hear somebody talking? So I took the nap and then I got up and then I started watching that show. I feel like there was something else that I watched first too, but I don't remember what it is. Hey, how are you? Hi. There was something else I started watching and I don't remember what it was. I do know that last night after House of Villains, I went through my weekly list and I unchecked all of my shows. It was like, okay, I'm finished with my shows already. So tonight I have, well, Sister Wives, I have that I'll take my notes on and then do my Peter Watches TV video on that tomorrow. And then I have the season finale of From. Those are on tonight. And then I'll watch Mindhunter. So, and then tomorrow I have a hair appointment. And my hair appointment is at like 1:30. My hair appointments are usually like 11, 12, something like that. And so I'm back. So tomorrow my hair appointment will be from like 11:30 to, or like 1:30 to 2:30. It's like 1:15 to 2:15 or 1:30 to 2:30. I don't know. Which means I won't get back here until like 3. So I had all these plans on how I was going to like film all these videos this week. And so I was like, I'm gonna like, you know, every day this week I'm gonna be filming all these videos. And so tomorrow, unless I get up early and I start filming some videos, which that probably won't happen, but maybe 1 or 2. Tomorrow, it's gonna be limited videos. Tuesday, Tani and I are kind of like up in the air about whether or not we're going to go to our home group or not because she's not really sure how her day on Tuesday is going to go. If her day is easy on Tuesday and she doesn't have anything going on, then we're going to go to the meeting on Tuesday night. Tuesday afternoon, I have therapy. Now, my therapy is usually earlier, and we scheduled it later. So that means that I'll either have to get up and film videos before that, or as soon as I get done with therapy, start it. And if I go to the meeting that night, that only gives me like 2.5 hours to film videos. So, including the vlog. So I don't know how we're gonna do it. And then Wednesday is Cousin Fun Day. And so, and Caroline's picking me up. I mean, we went, did she say a time last week? I don't remember. And so Wednesday, when I get home from Cousin Fun Day, is probably when I have to film videos for Wednesday. And then I also have to film videos for pre-film videos for Thursday, and then Thursday is Thanksgiving with our family, and then Friday, Alex, he said to me today, he's like, are you wanting to go shopping on Friday? And I was like, oh, I thought you didn't want to go shopping on Friday. He's like, well, if you want to, we can go shopping on Friday. So I don't know, so this week where I thought I was going to be filming videos every day, and maybe minimal videos filmed. Now watch, I say that, and then I'll end up filming 7 videos on every channel every single day, and I'll just like make it happen and just make it work. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. I do have, the interesting thing is, so last week, I made a list of videos this week. And so I went through here. My Peter Does stuff. Oh, I did. All of my videos for Peter Does stuff I made. Amazon haul, Choose Your Own Adventure, wax melts, shopping haul on Wednesday, my weight loss on Thursday, and movie club. Well, I did that on Saturday. I didn't do it on Friday. So I did do all of those. So today, I have to go in here and I'm going to make, this really helped going in here. I mean, I've done stuff like this in the past, but making a list of what all my videos are going to be for the week. I did ask Caroline if she wanted to make the Brianna chicken fry. I didn't take my camera with me on Wednesday. And she was like, well, we could have done that if you wanted to make that video. She was like, but it'll probably be over by next Wednesday. I was like, how is it going to be over? It's like one of the hottest like pop culture stories right now going on. She's like, it'll be over by next Wednesday. I don't know what that means. And then the reviews I did, TV, did I do any of these? Okay. My drama channel videos, I did 1 out of the 5 ideas, so that gives me 4 other drama ideas that I can do. And then I'm sure new stuff will come up this week. So yeah, I don't know if I'm just going to kind of take it casually this week, or if I'm going to like try to like bolt it out, bolt the videos out. Alex has like nothing going on this week. I mean, he has like work, and then he'll probably like on Wednesday night, like, I asked him at brunch, I was like, you don't have any dinners, drinks, or anything? He was like, nope, not at all. That he always says that, and then stuff comes up. So Wednesday night, he'll probably end up being like, oh, we're gonna, like, after work, like, I'll, you know, go out and have dinner or something like that, which actually that would probably work to my advantage, because then that would give me longer. I mean, he doesn't care if I film when he's here, but I just like to let him relax and stuff like that. So it'll be a fun week nonetheless. And then Saturday, I definitely will be filming over here. And then Sunday, well, at least the vlog, and probably another video or two. Oh, the BookTube channel. So this week I have a haul to do, huge haul. I have the announcement for the December books. You know what? I need to do this. I need to write these down right now, because if I don't, I want to write them down right now on my video list. Okay, videos this week. BookTube. Announced December books. Oh, The Night We Lost Him. I did that one yesterday. Christmas book list. Book haul. There was something else I wanted to do. Okay, so the December books. That one. Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I could do it Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I could do Monday, announce the December books. Wednesday, I could do the Christmas book list. I kind of want to put the Christmas book list out before Thanksgiving, so people can, like, when they're sitting around, they can, like, you know, figure out what books they want to read if they want to do any of those. And then the book haul I can show at the end of the week. But the books are kind of piling up, so I really want to, like, do the book haul and get that one done. But I could pre-film that one, so I could pre-film it and get it done. Yeah, it's going to be a fun week. We were at brunch today. We saw, like, somebody that was in town already. They came in town this weekend for Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is, like, a weird time in Indianapolis, because so many people, like, I don't know if your hometown's like this too, but so many people move away from the Midwest that, you know, go other places. And so the week of Thanksgiving, just out and about, grocery stores, brunch at Patashu and stuff, we see so many people out, you know? It's crazy. Thanksgiving's never really been, like, one of my favorite holidays. I feel like when I was growing up, I spent some of them with my mom and some of them with my dad. As I got older, I spent them always with my mom. But when I was younger, my dad and I, we used to go, I've shared this story so many times. We used to go to, so my dad's best friend his entire life lived in Sarasota, Florida, and it was his fraternity brother, he's passed away. He passed away about, I think, like 10 or 15 years ago. His wife still lives down there, and they had 2 daughters, and their daughters were, their youngest daughter was probably 4 or 5 years older than me. Okay, if we would go down there when I was like 8, their youngest daughter was probably 11, so maybe 3 or 4 years older than me, and the oldest daughter was probably 8 years older than me. She was probably 16. But we would go down there with them, and I can remember it was fun. We would go down there for Thanksgiving, and so we would stay at their house and stuff like that, and we would, like, hey, how are you?
Well, your mouth is just going.
What are you doing today?
Trying to clean up this yard.
You better get those pumpkins thrown away.
Well, it's not Thanksgiving yet.
Well, they're probably all mushy. I got one little white, lonely pumpkin over here that's all mushy. You want to add her to your pile? I can just see them from here. They look so mushy. They look, I don't know. I think you better find a new place to buy pumpkins next year. Those don't look very good. Those look mushy. I'm jealous. Where'd you get those pumpkins? Did you get any at Sullivan's?
No. Maybe Fresh Time.
Fresh Time has horrible pumpkins.
I forget where I got the other one.
I think you should be worried about that area right there, because they're mushing into the ground. She's like raking up all kinds of stuff over there. It's really not even that cold to have this coat up, but this coat is so comfy. This is like the comfiest coat in the entire world. So we used to go down to my dad's fraternity brother and his wife's house, like for Thanksgiving. We probably only did it like 3 times, and I feel like it was like always, you know, like as you get older, you think that way. So, but we would like go to the beach like Thanksgiving Day, and then I can remember like we would come home at like 1 or 2, like we would go in the morning, and then I can remember they would like start cooking and everything like that or whatever, and then we would have Thanksgiving dinner, and then I remember we would get up to watch Macy's Day Parade because my dad's fraternity brother and his wife were really good friends with my mom and dad when they were younger, so they like all knew each other and stuff like that. And one of the things that I feel so grateful for is like I feel like I have so many friends of mine that like they're divorced or separated and they like fight with their exes over like, well, I want her birthday, or you know, like I want him for Christmas, like you got him last year, or like they have these strict things. My parents were never like that, never. I mean, I don't know what that says. Maybe they should have fought for me a little bit more. I don't know. No, they just weren't like that, you know, like I can remember even saying something to my mom later about it because I was like, I mean, my dad would always be like, come on, you're going to call your mom, you know, here and sit down for Thanksgiving and whatever, like every day that I was gone and whatever, check in. But I can remember one day saying something to my mom about like holidays, and she's like, well, of course I always missed you. She's like, but I wanted you to have a good time with your dad too. She's like, you needed to spend those holidays with your dads too. I think that is like, I don't know that I really understood. I saw bits and pieces of it, but I don't know that I really understood because they did such a good job of protecting me until later that my parents really didn't like each other. Like, they co-parented so well together. They hardly ever spoke poorly of each other. I mean, I really feel like it is such a great blessing that they gave me. And you have to also remember that this was a time that there weren't a lot of people that were getting divorced when they got divorced. I mean, I was literally like the very first person at my school that got divorced. And so I can remember my mom, one of her best friends, like her entire life, I've talked about them before, they moved in across the street from us, and she was divorced and remarried, and her husband was like 20 years older than her, and they had like, you know, she had 2 kids from the other marriage, and that was like scandalous for our neighborhood. I can remember like that was like my mom went over there, and you know, because my mom was like going through a separation, and she like, you know, introduced herself, and like she was an this woman was an interior decorator. She was like real, like, you know, they were so fun, and they became like, I mean, they really like took care of my mom. I can remember one year we went somewhere and my mom went with them. They had a boat in the Bahamas, and my mom went and stayed on their boat with them in the Bahamas and stuff like that and had a great time. But she was like one of my mom's best friends her entire life. But I can remember when they moved in, I mean, if they moved in when I was like 7 or 8, I mean, you're talking 79, 80, like it was scandalous that this was her second husband and they were remarried, you know? And you think back about TV shows like 8 is Enough and things like that. I mean, it was scandalous in our neighborhood. I can remember like hearing people, like neighbors talk about like, oh my God, like this is her second marriage. And I mean, it was like a really, like it was, I know it sounds crazy, but it really was scandalous. But anyway, but you know, my mom would always say to me, like, I was really glad that you like had like great holidays with your dad, and you know, like you would go down there and visit that, you know, the so-and-sos for Thanksgiving and whatever. But I don't think it was as many Thanksgivings as I remember it being, because we kind of stopped doing that at some point. It might have been around the time that my dad and my stepmom got married, because they would sometimes do stuff with her family. So that, I mean, I would have been about 12 at that point, I think. So that might have been when we stopped doing that. Maybe 11, 12 was when we stopped doing it. I don't remember. But anyway, this one Thanksgiving, it was one of the earlier years. I've told this story so many times on here, but it's like a fond memory of Thanksgiving. I don't know why. I mean, I was sick, but I was really sick that Thanksgiving. And I can remember that I feel like she came over to our house. I feel like, okay, so my dad's fraternity brother's mom, who my dad was friends with too, she lived in Sarasota as well. And she had bought a new condo or something. She was in it was a condo. It was like a high rise, like near the beach. And so I don't know if we went over there. I don't think we went over there for Thanksgiving dinner. I can't really remember. I'd have to ask my dad, and he probably wouldn't remember. But anyway, we either went over there for Thanksgiving or we went over there for dessert. And I feel like we just went over there for dessert. But I wasn't feeling good. And so they were like having drinks and dessert and stuff and coffee in the other room. And we were going to be there for a while, like a couple hours. And I was like really sick. And so, and they put me in the bedroom, and I can remember, and like her, and like she brought me in with my dad and stuff, and like she like tucked me into the bed, and I must have been real young, like 6 or 7. I don't know. I would have been real young. 7 or 8. I could look up and see when the movie came out, because it would have been the first year that the movie came out. But I can remember, I can see it in my head, looking into the other room from where I was laying in the bedroom. And the bedroom was all dark except for the TV that was on. She had like this dresser, and she had this like, the camera stopped. And she had this like TV on the dresser. And I can remember looking in the other room, and it was like the living room. And then she had this like balcony that looked over like the beach or something like that. But I was laying in bed, and I remember the movie It Came Upon a Midnight Clear with Mickey Rooney came on. And that was like the first time that I ever saw that movie. It came upon a midnight clear. Clear movie. The kid that was in it that played his grandson. You know what? What year did it come out? In 1984? No. I would have been 12. I wasn't 12. There's no way I was 12 when we were there. Have I all this time thought that it was a different movie? Have I all this time thought that it was a different movie? I must have. I swore it was that movie. I don't know why I love that movie so much. Was it that movie? I don't even know. It came upon a midnight clear. Well, actually, I would have been 11 if it came out. I'm a pretty singer. We should go caroling. You want to go caroling this Christmas?
Yeah, we were going to do that last Christmas.
We were?
Yeah.
Why didn't we? Is it just going to be you and me?
Yeah.
She said, yeah. What movie was it then? All these years I thought it was that movie. I was younger than that though, so it wasn't that movie. That movie came out 1984. Yeah, I would have been 12. I was born in 72. It wasn't that movie then. What movie was it? It wasn't Smoky Mountain Christmas, because Smoky Mountain Christmas came out in 95. Gosh, what movie was it? All these years I thought it was It Came Upon a Midnight Clear. Should we start caroling right now? No, but there's a horror movie on TV called Thanksgiving.
A horror movie?
Yeah, it's about this guy that kills a bunch of people on Thanksgiving. You want to watch it?
I'm too busy.
She said she's too busy. What was it now?
I just saw Cozy District box set before Thanksgiving.
Books?
Yeah.
Who's writing cozy mystery series about Thanksgiving? Some people.
I guess you don't like Thanksgiving.
I don't dislike Thanksgiving, it's just not my favorite holiday.
You don't eat turkey.
I don't eat turkey. Oh my god, this is gonna drive me crazy. It's gotta be like a movie that I like. It's gotta be a made for TV movie. All these years, did I look this up before? All these years I've thought it came upon a midnight clear. Well anyway, here's the poster for it. And this kid right here was also in the movie The Night They Saved Christmas. Let's see what year that came out. The Night They Saved Christmas. It came out in the same year, in 1984. Made for TV Christmas movies. Early 80s. I'm never going to find out what it is. That is so weird. What is that called? The Mandela effect or whatever, when you think it's something and it's something else. A Christmas Without Snow. Maybe that's what it was. Was that the book with the girl? No. Smoky Mountain Christmas came out. I can't believe it's listed on here. 1986. One Magic Christmas. That was a Disney movie. That was so sad about the dad that dies. That was 1985. Santa Claus 1985. I said early 80s. Christmas Without Snow. Why do I think maybe that could be it? I had it. Was it if it was based on a book? I feel like I had that book, Christmas Without Snow. It has this girl, and she's like carrying this like tree inside. Christmas Without Snow movie. That doesn't look like it. That sure don't look like the movie that I was watching. Leaving her son behind at her parents' home. Was this the one that came out in, yep, 1980. Leaving her son behind at her parents' home in Omaha, Nebraska. Recent divorcee. You know what I think it might have been? Which is a movie, I can't tell you if it is because I'm picking it for the movie club. Hold on a second. If I look it up and this movie is like the date is right, I can't tell you what it is because no, that came out in 1987. Hey, do you remember any Christmas made-for-television movies that came out in the early 80s?
Are you talking to me?
No, I'm talking to that squirrel hanging out in the tree. Yes, I'm talking to you. Huh?
I thought you were talking to your people.
Well, I am talking to them, but I'm asking you a question.
What was the question?
So I have this memory, and I would have been about 7 or 8 at the time, which means it would have been about 1980, 1981, 1979. I was Thanksgiving and some Christmas movie came on.
Thanksgiving and what?
That's weird that a Christmas movie would come on Thanksgiving too, isn't it? That doesn't seem right. I'm going to have to ask my dad about that. I'm going to have to call my dad and ask him about that. I'm going to text him.
Hey, what time is it?
Time to get a watch. It's 4:24.
4:24.
Texting my dad right now. Do you remember how old I would have been when we stopped visiting the... Of course it autocorrects her name. Let's see how old he thinks I was when we stopped going down there for Thanksgiving. I feel like I would have been young. He'll say like 15. I'm like, no, it wasn't 15. I feel like I was young. This is like driving me crazy now. This is so stupid. This is driving me totally crazy. Oh well. Oh well, what are you gonna do? It came upon a midnight clear. She just looked right away. What's your favorite Christmas song?
I like a lot of Mannheim Steamroller stuff. Trans-Siberian Orchestra.
See, I was gonna say, that's what you said the last time was that Trans-Siberian Orchestra. You like the instrumentals. Now, is your Halloween town down? Is your Christmas town coming up?
I've got some fall stuff up, but yeah, the Christmas town.
The Christmas town's coming up?
Yeah.
I might have to do a video of that. Yeah. How many Christmas tree townhouses do you have? This is going to drive me crazy about this Christmas movie. Am I getting that right, what a Mandela effect is? Do y'all know what I'm talking about with the Mandela effect? You know what? I need to probably just screenshot this. I have all the Alex Cross books, publication order of Alex Cross books in order that I pulled up last night. Okay. Let's see. Mandela effect. I think it's because people swore that and I say Mandela. No, that people thought that Nelson Mandela died when he didn't, and that's what was it? Just like something just went across the fuzz or something. The Mandela effect, which I always call a Mandela effect. This video is all kinds of messed up. The Mandela effect is a social phenomenon where a group of people misremember, or just one person, can it just be one person? Misremember a specific detail about a person, place, or event, like what Christmas movie you watched on Thanksgiving when you were 8. The term was coined by paranormal researcher Fiona Broome after she discovered that she and others had false memories of Nelson Mandela dying in prison in the 1980s. Mandela actually served 27 years in prison and became the first president of South Africa from 1994 to 1999. Here are some examples of the Mandela effect. Captain Crunch, a cereal... oh my god, this is so funny. I just found this out... She just looked at me. I just found this out the other day in my... cereal video that I did, my cereal video. I always thought that it was Captain Crunch, but it's actually, my dad said, let me think about it, putting out trash at the moment. Okay. It's actually Cap'n Crunch. C-A-P'-N. I did not know that. Snoopy's tail. Snoopy's tail is white with a small black spot, not black. Tony the Tiger's nose. Tony the Tiger has a blue nose, not a black nose. I didn't know that. Mickey Mouse's tail. Mickey Mouse has a tail, not no tail. Not no tail. Some of these mugs got some of these bugs, but there ain't no bugs on me. Britney Spears music video. Many people remember Britney wearing a microphone headset in the Oops, I Did It Again music video, but she actually doesn't. I do not remember her wearing Oops, I Did It Again. I do not remember her wearing that. 54 Mandela. Well, I want to look up that in just a second, but can a person have a Mandela... I keep on saying Mandela. Have a Mandela effect by themselves, or is it just called delusion? Can a single person, not like single like you're not dating somebody, but single person have a Mandela effect? Yes, a single person can experience a Mandela effect, which is essentially a false memory, even if they are the only one with a specific memory. However, the term Mandela effect typically refers to a shared group. So all this time, I thought it came upon a midnight clear, and it wasn't, actually. I want to read these 54 examples. I want to see how many of these I really thought. 54... And every time in my head, before I say it, because I want to say Mandela, and it's Mandela, Nelson Mandela, and I want to say Mandela effects. Oh, Captain Crunch is on this one. Okay. Oh, that's got pictures and things, too, so we can see. 54 Mandela effect examples that will make you question everything. Oh, I'm going to question everything? Okay. Luke, I am your father. It's one of the most famous movie quotes ever, right? Not quite. That line isn't actually in the Star Wars movies. Darth Vader's real line is, no, I am your father. If that's... okay. New examples of the Mandela effect from the spelling of Berenstein Bears. I just heard something about this the other day on the news. To the existence of 90s movie called Shazam, commonly sweep through social media. Some people are so surprised by their bad memories that they start conspiracy theories like an alternate timeline to explain it. And it goes and explains why it's called the Mandela effect. Why does the Mandela effect interest so many people? We like to think that we understand our minds very well. I don't understand my mind at all. Or that we have good control over our memories. This is one of those cases where our memory is betraying us, and it's sort of a creepy, eerie feeling. It is, because I swear to God that I was laying in bed watching It Came Upon a Midnight Clear. I've even shared that story on here before. I know I have. But I know I also wasn't 12 years old when that happened. We were wrong about so many movie lines, facts, and more. Keep reading for commonly misremembered Mandela effect examples. Okay, Nelson Mandela's death. Shaggy's Adam's apple. Do you remember Shaggy from Scooby-Doo with a big Adam's apple? Yes, I did, but they're showing a picture right here and he doesn't have one. What? Did he not have an Adam's apple? Oh, where did I go out of it? It took me out of that. Now I gotta go back into the article again. Okay, hold on. Okay. Maybe as he inhales a giant sandwich, so do tons of others, but in reality, it's nowhere to be seen. What? That's the Scooby-Doo sound. Mickey Mouse's suspenders. Quick, how does Mickey Mouse hold up his pants? Answer, not with suspenders. Oh, that's so weird. I thought he did have suspenders. Oh, my Lord. Captain versus Captain Crunch. I literally just learned this the other day. I didn't feel like it was a Mandela effect. I just thought I was wrong all this time. Snoopy's tail. Oh, look at little Snoopy. What color is Snoopy's tail? Some will tell you it's black, but in reality it's white. None of these things are really like, I feel like I've lost my mind. Tony the Tiger's nose. I mean, it's blue, but I just don't think I looked close enough. That's how I feel. I want one. Sinbad never played a genie. Never thought he did. Don't care. Oops, I did it again. Headset. Don't remember her wearing a headset in that. Okay. Jif, not Jiffy. People swear there was a Jiffy peanut butter back in the day, but we speculate they're combining Jif with its competitor, Skippy. Jiffy. Jiffy Lube? Looney Tunes, T-U-N-E-S, not Tunes, T-O-O-N-S. It almost makes zero sense, but yes, the cartoon was spelled as Tunes. Don't care. None of these are that surprising to me. The Berenstain Bears didn't exist. The lovable cartoon Bear family actually spelled their last name with an A. The Berenstain, like Berenstain Bears. Don't care. None of these are that surprising to me. Curious George's tail. I could have told you yet. No, he didn't have a tail because I used to read all those books when I was a kid. I knew he didn't have a tail. Was never there. Are you freaking out? Okay, move on. I'm not freaking out. Sex in the City. While these four women were having sex in the city, the show was actually titled Sex and the City. What? Oh my God. I feel like I knew that, and I still called it what I wanted to call it. As you get older, you just don't give a shit. You just like, whatever, Captain Crunch, Captain... I mean, it's like you don't care. Oh, Febreze, this will be good. Okay, you might use this stuff every day, but be honest, you thought it was F-E-B, like Febreze, didn't you? Oh, well, what is it? No, I knew I was spelling it wrong. And then they have like a made-up one. See, the AI. Don't trust AI. You should never trust AI. Anything that has to hide behind AI, junk. Okay, Oscar Mayer. I wish I had an Oscar Mayer wiener. Is that how the song goes? Baloney. My baloney has a first name. It's O-S-C-A-R. My baloney has a second name. See, I like... what is this mood I'm in today? My... baloney has a first name, it's O-S-C-A-R. My baloney has a second name, it's M-A-Y-E-R. Oh, now it's saying it's spelling. There's an A in Meyer. Honest to goodness, we thought it was. Oh, how could you not know that with the song? My baloney has a first name, it's O-S-C-A-R. My baloney has a second name, it's it's M-A. How could you not sing the song and not know that, idiots? And they got both of them spelled right here. Okay. I love to eat it every day, and when I do, I always say, or something like that. Because Oscar Mayer is a way to B-O-L-O-G-N-A. I did it. Okay. Skechers. They're going to say it has a T in it. Who cares? No, you already know it don't have no T in it. Yes. Less sketchy than most. People have been befuddled to see... Oh, befuddled? I spell everything wrong anyway. None of this is that surprising to me. The battery is at the halfway mark. Okay. That's more surprising to me than anything. Fruit Loops. Kellogg has been spelling fruit like that for years, and we only noticed it now that it was F-R-O-O-T. None of these are like that big of a deal. Ken Henry VIII's turkey leg. What? For some reason, people distinctly remember this portrait showing the King of England wielding a turkey leg. I don't think I've ever seen that picture before. Monopoly Man and his monocle. Or more like the fact that he doesn't have one. I don't even know. Pikachu's tail, next. I don't know what a Pikachu is. The hyphen in Kit Kat. If you just had an existential crisis about the fact that there's no hyphen in between Kit and Kat, know that you're not alone. What? You're going to have, if you literally are having an existential crisis because you thought that there was a hyphen and there's not, okay, like, you need to check your life, okay? Like, there's bigger stuff going on in the world. Fruit of the Loom logo. It used to have a cornucopia behind the fruit, right? Right? Who care? Cheez-It or Cheez-Its? We swear there used to be an extra Z at the end. What is happening? These are so dumb. Double stuffed Oreos. I don't even, Mona Lisa smile. There are a lot of theories about this one, but so many people have claimed that she used to have a more obvious smile. No. C3PO has a silver leg. Does he? Even the biggest Halloween star fans and Halloween costumes get it wrong. The robot isn't all gold. He has one silver piece on his right leg. Do you know what's really interesting about that is? I have in the basement, I actually have one of the original C3PO action figures, and I can tell you, it's all gold. You know what? I'm going to go down there and I'm going to pull it out, because I know exactly where they are, because I was going to sell them on eBay, and they're not worth anything. I know I'm going to pull that thing out. I have a Luke Skywalker, too, that has the thing that goes out of its arm. You, like, push this thing out of its arm. I know I'm going to pull it out and watch it'll have one silver arm, and then I'll be like, oh my god, it was the Mandela effect. The Flintstones has 2 T's. I don't care. This, Luke, I am your father. This shit is so stupid. What did my husband just sent me a TikTok? What TikTok did he just send me? This guy is so funny. We both love this guy so much. Okay, why isn't it going to the TikTok? I don't know who this person is. Oh wait, sometimes it doesn't take me right to the TikTok. Eddie Silva, have you ever seen this person before? Hilarious! Hilarious. I post a lot of their Instagram reels when they come up on my thing. Okay, wait, let's get back to the Cinderella's Castle. Contrary to popular, that says populate. Are we going to believe an article that is grammatically incorrect? There is only one Cinderella Castle, and it's in Walt Disney World in Florida. The blue and pink castle in California's Disneyland and Sleeping Beauties. I could give a shit. We're going to need a bigger boat. Oh, this is about Jaws. This will be interesting. You're going to need a bigger boat is what is said by Roy Scheider's character in Jaws, one of the best movies ever. You're going to instead of we're going to, and we think that that's blinded by the light, had a dish, and now I'm ready for the Saturday night. Okay, this one's good. Ed McMahon and Publishers Clearinghouse. What does it say about this? We can see it clear as day. Ed McMahon handing families everywhere giant checks. Yes, but really, McMahon was never a spokesperson for the company. Instead, he worked for American Family Publishers. What? American Family Insurance. Oh, no, that's different. But he never handed anyone checks. His face was simply on the envelopes. That's where you just don't even care. You're like, I could probably be wrong. I am more effed up. I almost said the real word. I am more effed up that for 45 years of my life, I have thought that I watched, it came upon, now I want to know when the first time I watched that damn movie was that I've loved all my life. Life is like a box of chocolates. Is not, I hate that movie, Forrest Gump. Okay, I know that that's a real unpopular opinion, but that's like one of my least favorite movies of life. She just looked up. She probably loves that movie so much or something. Is not what Forrest Gump, played by the amazing Tom Hanks, actually, the amazing Tom Hanks, as opposed to what the piss poor Tom Hanks actually said. If you listen closely, he says, life was like a box of chocolates. We're regretting all those Instagram captions about right now. Chartreuse. Do you recall someone telling you that chartreuse is a magenta pink color? So many others agree with you, but in reality, it's a shade of green. Run, you fools. I've never even seen that movie. I'm like, now it went out of it. These are dumb. What is the Mandela effect? 20 examples. And they have, I swear to God, right here, they have the Fruit of the Loom, nobody cares. Pikachu, they have Cinderella's Castle. I'm not convinced of any of these things, but I will tell you this. I would have sworn I was 7 or 8 years old. I can see us on the beach that day, and I got sick, and we were, oh, I didn't even tell the rest of the story. So that's when I saw It Came Upon a Midnight Clear. But now I found out that it didn't even come out until 1984, which means I was 12, and I don't even think we were going to Florida anymore at that point. So what movie was it that I watched in her bedroom that night that was so cozy? And why is it taking my dad so long to figure this out? He usually texts me right back, and he's like, well, you were 9 the last time. He just like throws some answer, and I'm like, how do you know? He's like, I don't. Just go with it. What was I going to say? Oh, so the second part of the story to that is that when we would go down there, we would get up to watch the Macy's Day Parade. This part is 100% true. I remember these people's names and everything. So anyway, my dad's fraternity brother's wife, okay, who my mom was friends with in college and everything like that, her sister worked for Excalibur, the car company, and so she drove for Excalibur in the Macy's Day Parade back when I would have been 7 or 8, I guess, watching some Christmas movie that I don't remember. And so there's my favorite, the couple that always walks through here. The one, she used to always wear like long skirts and stuff, but now she's got leggings on today and a winter coat, and they got hats on and stuff like that. They're so sweet. She's the one that said that she knew Boo Radley from To Kill a Mockingbird because she taught it in school for years and years and years. But anyway, so we would get up to watch the Macy's Day Parade because she drove in the Macy's Day Parade every year, like the Excalibur. And like one year it was like Dudley Moore that she drove, and another year it was somebody else. And so yeah, so we would like get up, and like when she was on and stuff like that, we'd be like, oh my god, there she, it was like 5 seconds, the Macy's Day Parade. I haven't watched the Macy's Day Parade in forever. Is it even still a big deal like it was back then? I think part of it was, do you know what I think the movie might have been? Oh my god, and that's why I had the connection also to all of that is Miracle on 34th Street. Maybe that's what the movie was. Would that have made sense? And that would have made sense if they would have shown it on Thanksgiving. Don't you think? Because it starts on Thanksgiving. I'm going to have to look back at like TV schedules of what Christmas movies they showed on Thanksgiving night. That is so crazy. Anyway, my dad will get back to me and he'll let me know. My dad's memory is about as piss poor as mine is, though. He don't even care. He'll be like, I don't know why do you care about this? I'll be like, he'll just, you know, the ha-has and all that kind of stuff. And I'll be like, Dad, this is very important. I need to remember. So, I feel like nobody in my life really remembers things. Like, my stepmom does, actually. If he doesn't remember, I'm going to text her. But, like, I don't think she was there for that Thanksgiving. I think that was before they started dating. My stepmom remembers, like, everything. If I say something to her, she'll be like, they were just watching To Kill a Mockingbird the other night. My dad texted me, and he was like, we were thinking about Little Boo Radley. We were watching To Kill a Mockingbird. That was one of my dad's favorite movies, too. I always talk about it being, like, my mom and I's favorite movie, but it was one of my dad's favorite movies, too. So, Thanksgivings back in the day. I remember Caroline was such a picky eater. This wasn't just for Thanksgiving. This was for Christmas and Easter and stuff, too. But my grandma would, like, make, like, everything when I was growing up as a kid. Where am I at on time? I don't know. I can't really tell. But anyway, I know the batteries at the halfway mark, so it's probably going to die here in a second. But anyway, my grandma would make everything, like the turkey and everything for Christmas and for Thanksgiving. And Caroline was so weird about what she ate. She hated vegetables. She only liked like mashed potatoes and macaroni and cheese. And my grandma's macaroni and cheese that we've talked about so much. So her plate would be like a little bit of mashed potatoes and like a lot of macaroni and cheese. And she wouldn't eat anything else. And I remember my aunt would be like, Caroline should be like, don't you want a little bit of turkey or ham or whatever we would have for whatever holiday? And Caroline would say no. And she's like, don't you want some broccoli? Don't you want some of these vegetables? And Caroline would be like, no, I don't like any of that kind of stuff. And my grandma would be like, Kathy, let Caroline eat what she wants to eat. If she just wants to eat macaroni and cheese and mashed potatoes, she can. And I remember that was like always a huge deal over Christmas because Caroline was like a really, really picky eater. You know who else is a really picky eater? Caroline's not so much today as she was then, but she still has like very specific things that she likes that she won't eat other things. My husband is probably the pickiest eater I have ever met in my entire life. No, like dead serious. My husband's I wish my dad would get back to me before this video was over because I know by the time he texts me, I'll forget to include it in the next vlog. But my cousin Caroline, my husband is the pickiest eater in the entire world. Like it is, and it takes him like forever to try something new. And then when he tries something new, like ranch dressing, okay, he forever would not try ranch dressing. He was like, oh, it's disgusting. And I can remember like one day, I don't even remember where we were. He like reached over and took a fry, and he does not like ketchup. He will not. My husband will not use ketchup. Fries and ketchup, no, it's disgusting. He doesn't like anything. Chicken fingers, no honey mustard, no barbecue sauce. The only thing, no ranch dressing for chicken fingers. The only thing that he will dip chicken fingers in his marinara sauce, okay? Pizza, he will only have cheese pizza, sometimes pepperoni and jalapenos, but mostly cheese pizza, and he has to have a side of a marinara sauce to dip it in. But one day we were sitting somewhere and he like dipped a fry in, we were like some restaurant, this was a couple years ago. He would never, I mean, I'd always be like doing some ranch, to ketchup, no, ranch, he dipped a fry in ranch, and it was like, from that moment on, he was like set to go. But it's like French fries and ranch. Sometimes he'll eat pizza with ranch. But other than that, like the condiments, like he's very weird with that kind of stuff. He will not eat meat on the bone. He's very, very weird about that. He doesn't like, if there's like any bone, like if you bring out like chicken and there was like bone stuck to it, or like, he's not really a big pork person either, and it's not like a religious thing. He just isn't like into pork. The camera stopped. But like sausages and stuff like that, he's just not into all of that. We were actually at that, what's it called? Breakfast Revolution or whatever in San Diego, and they had soy chorizo, and he liked soy chorizo better than he liked regular chorizo. You know what? Somebody commented on my video yesterday. I thought it was kind of funny because I thought, when I read it, I was like, well, I thought what I said made totally perfect sense, and then I read the comment again, and I was like, yeah, probably what I said didn't make any sense at all. Oh, the battery is flashing. Hold on. I will go get another battery, and I will be right back in 2 and 2. Okay, I'm back with a fresh battery. Okay, well, I want to finish up what I was talking about. So before I stopped the vlog to get a new battery. So I got this comment on my vlog, and when I first read it, I was like, well, I don't really understand what I wasn't clear about with my comment. And then I read it again, and I was like, yeah, I probably wasn't very clear. So what somebody asked was, and it's somebody that leaves a lot of nice comments, so it wasn't like, you know, it was a nice comment. But they were like, I'm confused. Like, you said that, I don't know how I said it in the video, but I said something like, Alex looks like his dad, but he's built like his mom. And so it was confusing, I guess, how I said it. I don't know. But what I meant by that is that, like, physically in his face, if you look at Alex, like, Alex physically in his face looks like his dad. Like, his mom will even say it. His mom will say, like, it's like, as you get older especially, like, you look a lot like your dad when he was your age. And Alex has the same hair as his dad. Like, his hair is very curly and whatever. Where Alex's mom's side of the family, like, their hair is straight. Carlos and Alex both have curly hair. Fufu has very straight hair. His mom has very straight hair. Alex and Fufu and his mom, like, if you physically see them standing next to each other, they are, like, they stand the same way. They're, like, built the same way. Like, they have dancer's legs that are very muscular. Alex's father is, even though he's taller, which is interesting because Carlos is built like his dad, but Carlos is very short, and Alex's dad is tall. His dad's like 6'2", which is probably where, like, Alex and Fufu got their height. But Carlos is built more like his dad, physically, like, in the body. Like, he's more, like, stocky, like his dad. Whereas Fufu and Alex are built more like his mom. Like, if you see his mom walk across the room, you see Alex and Fufu walk across, like, they walk the same way. And so anyway, that's what I meant by that. Physically, and, like, Fufu and Alex's cousin Nina look a lot the same in the face, which means that physically, like, in the face, they look like their mother's side. Whereas, like, Alex and Carlos look more like their dad's side. So that's what I meant by it. Like, in the face, he favors his dad, but, like, he's built physically like his mom. So that's what I meant by it. I know that that was kind of confusing, so I apologize for that. I don't remember what I was talking about before that. Oh, about picky eaters. Yeah, Alex is such a picky eater. Is that what I was talking about before? But then he's kind of, like, made the transition over to ranch. I'm trying to think about other things. Well, that was kind of like a bonding thing for Alex and I when we first got together, because neither one of us would eat fish. Like, we both, like, he's, you know, like, Alex is allergic to shellfish and stuff like that, and he doesn't really eat fish. Well, like, fish at all. Like, never did. Like, we both, like, long before I was a vegetarian, I didn't like fish. I would eat, like, tuna fish salad sandwiches when I was a kid. And even, like, when I was older, I would, like, you know, go to Subway and get tuna fish salad sandwich. Crab meat rangoon, shrimp, like, in Chinese food sometimes, but very rarely. And that kind of, like, faded off even, like, you know, the closer I got to being a vegetarian, like, those last, I would say, 5 or 10 years, that all kind of faded off. But, like, as far as, like, having, like, a piece of fish at a restaurant, you know, like, anything, both of us were not that kind of person. Like, salmon or something like that, or, like, you know, I don't know, whatever kind of fish you're gonna eat. Alex has kind of changed about that through the years. Like, it wouldn't be, like, the first thing that he would order, but, like, if he goes to somewhere that's, like, a steak or a seafood house or whatever, and, like, they have some, like, seafood or whatever, he'll try it, which is interesting to me because he is such a picky eater. But he's tried some seafood and he likes some seafood. And he likes caviar. I don't even know that if I've had caviar, I've had it like once in my life before I was ever vegetarian, and I think it was I don't remember anything about it. But he doesn't like it like as a bougie, like I'm bougie, like I like caviar. He's just like, when he tried, like I can't even remember where we were when he tried it, and he was like, that's actually really, really good. So he's like tried some seafood stuff, but outside of that, like mostly stuff he won't like. I mean, even if it's just like a different kind of pasta, and I'm like, oh, try this. He's like, I don't want to try it. I mean, he has his mainstays of what he likes. Like, even with, like, Oreo cookies, like, he has his, like, he likes the golden stuffed Oreos, and there's, you know, we're not going outside of that. As far as popcorn, Smart Popcorn. He doesn't want different flavor Smart Popcorn. He wants the same Smart Popcorn. I think it's the, what do you call it, the sea salt or whatever. Don't get, he won't eat it. If you get another kind, he won't eat it. He's very particular. Caroline's the same way. I feel it's so interesting that I've been surrounded by a lot of people that are very, you know, picky eaters in their life. But anyway, both of them are. So, and then Alex has his favorites that, for Thanksgiving, stuffing. Who was he telling the other day about? Oh, our hairstylist. He was talking about, because after I got my coffee and I walked in there, she said, oh, we were just talking about your aunt's stuffing. I go, my aunt's stuffing? I go, oh, you mean our family friend's stuffing that she makes? I said, I don't think she makes it anymore, but her recipe is so famous. And her dressing, that she used to make oyster dressing for my mom, and then she used to make, what do you call it? Just regular dressing for my grandma and my mom. And I think maybe my Aunt Kathy loved oyster. We call it dressing, not stuffing back in the day. But it has like 400 ingredients in it, and she just stands in the kitchen and goes like this. And it's like the best dressing, stuffing you've ever had in your entire life. It is so good. I mean, if she made it today, I couldn't even have it, because it has like meat stock and chicken stock and all kinds of stuff in it. So there's no way I could have it. Alex wouldn't eat it if it had oysters in it. That's the one seafood he's tried he does not like, is oysters. It's great. Anything like textures of stuff, like he's kind of weird about too. I'm a little bit like that too, with some textures of food and stuff like that. It's weird, like some things that you try as a vegetarian, especially if you go to like a high-end restaurant, and they'll make something like, it'll be like a steak, but it'll be like a mushroom steak. Like they'll try to do something real different like that. As a vegetarian, what I don't know, I probably am different like this about this than some other people, but what I would just tell most restaurants is to have like a pasta side thing, or like always have a veggie burger on your menu or whatever. But if you're at like a high-end restaurant, like a pasta dish or something like that, because they'll try to do something like, and it's interesting because most restaurants that I'll go to, like where were we at? When I think we were in Miami, maybe it had been Melissa and Jason. Maybe it was when we were in Las Vegas a lot. I think maybe it was when we were in Las Vegas last time. And I was going to try some steak, and the guy was like, don't try it. It's not good, and it's like $30, and you won't be full. No, where were we? Oh, it was when we went to Aaron's birthday. We went to that place down, it's like they have a speakeasy in the basement, but it's not really. Commission Row in downtown Indianapolis. The restaurant's cool, but we went there, and the guy was like, the guy and the girl that both worked there were like, don't do, it was like a mushroom or, I don't know, like cauliflower steak or something. They're like, it's not filling, and it was like $35, $37. They're like, it's too expensive and you won't like it, so just do sides instead. But they always kind of try to do something like fancy, like kind of like real weird like that. I'm like, just stick to mainstays, you know? I mean, I'll try different stuff like that, like a cauliflower steak, or do something different, but it's very rare that I'm super, super impressed with it, you know? Where I'm just like, damn, like, I gotta have another one of those. It's very rare that I feel that way. And some of the stuff that I've tried, that's kind of like, it was interesting too, is that like friends of mine that like I've known a lot of chefs that are vegetarians. I've had a lot of chefs that have come out and spoken to me, and what they'll say is like, I can make you like a really like gourmet grilled cheese or something like that. And that's like what they love to do, is like, you know, and I'm like, I would love a gourmet grilled cheese all day long with like 4 different kinds of cheese on it. Then I would love that at a restaurant, some high-end restaurant, you know. I would love that more than I would love like with tomato soup, than some kind of cauliflower steak, just so I can feel like I'm sitting there eating like a filet with everybody else, which I don't need to do, you know what I mean? And pay $37 for something that isn't even really that delicious and took you forever to put together, you know what I mean? I don't know. I'm trying to think of some places I've gone that just like I'm blown away. Well, today, like when I first became a vegetarian the first time, I mean, the best option that you had was to like get a dinner salad at I don't even know how vegans do it sometimes, but there's so many vegan options now when you go to restaurants. But the first time I became a vegetarian, which was right when it like was before Alex and I met, when my mom passed away and stuff like that. Well, I stopped being a vegetarian after he and I started dating. But the best you could do in Indianapolis, like when I would visit my friend in Denver, because he was a vegetarian too, it was easy to go to restaurants. But Denver's a little bit more, you know, like with it than Indianapolis was, well, is now and was at the time. And so, I can remember going out there, and then on the menus, they'd have all different kinds of stuff. But here, it was like a dinner salad was kind of like the best that you could do, you know? And you'd have to ask them not to put bacon on it, and they kind of look at you like you're crazy and stuff like that. It just got real windy all of a sudden. I don't know why. But it's not like that anymore. I mean, every restaurant that we go to, anywhere, even steakhouses, have a lot of options on it. Like I said the other day, when you talk to chefs or you ask servers, they're always super nice. Somebody said something to me the other day about the guy in... Somebody said something about the guy in Miami. I didn't even know. I don't remember what that was about. Was somebody rude to me? About food? I don't remember that. I mean, it's happened. I'm not going to say that it hasn't happened. I've had people before that have been rude about it. But by and large, look, I mean, I've already forgotten that example if it happened to me. By and large, people are super, super... I would be surprised if you're a vegetarian or you're vegan and you haven't experienced the same thing as me, because I can tell you, I mean, I might have had 1, 2, 3 bad experiences, but the amount, I guess what I was trying to say the other day was, it's not that I haven't had bad experiences, but the amount of overwhelming positive experiences that I've had as a vegetarian going to restaurants is unbelievable. I mean, literally people like bending over backwards to make sure that, like, more than the other people at the table. Like, let's make sure that you have, you know, something, whatever. Or like the chef wants to come out and talk to you. He's a vegetarian too, or he's vegan or whatever. Or she is, or whatever. I've had that experience happen several times that I would never have expected that, you know? I feel like all restaurants now try to have like gluten-free options and vegan options. Not vegetarian options necessarily, but vegan options. Or they'll have it on there, you know, vegetarian, not vegan, and things like that. Or they'll ask you, you know, like whenever I say I'm a vegetarian, they'll say, well, do you do dairy? They always ask me that, you know? It's so much easier today than it was. It's why I think it's pretty easy for me to say, like, I probably will be a vegetarian for the rest of my life. It's not a health thing. It's like, it's not like I'm losing like a ton of weight or I feel super healthy. Or somebody commented on there and said something about that on one of my vlogs. They said that they had been for a while and they initially did it. I think they said to lose weight. I did initially lose like 20 pounds, like within like 2.5 weeks when I went to being a vegetarian. But I mean, I'm not losing it anymore because of being a vegetarian. I mean, there's a lot of unhealthy vegetarians and I'm one of them. I've been an unhealthy vegetarian since like day one. But a lot of people say that they feel healthier being a vegetarian. I don't know that I mean, I've been one for so long now that I don't know that I necessarily, it's something that I think about on a regular basis. It was interesting reading the different comments about it. I don't even remember what I was talking about. Maybe it wasn't on my vlog. Maybe it was on one of my other videos where I was talking about being a vegetarian, but somebody was saying something about cross-contamination does suck. Somebody else said that they had never experienced cross-contamination. I think everybody's experience is completely different. I think it goes back to, you know, when I first started this journey online of being a vegetarian, and really it was all about just doing it for 30 days because I had seen this. I mean, I knew it was completely like propaganda video. It was this PETA video about being a vegetarian. If you're a vegetarian for 30 days, you greatly reduce your carbon imprint on the world. I don't even know if there's any truth to that to this day, but I watched this video. It was like a 3 or 4 minute video, and I was like, well, I can do anything for 30 days, right? So I was like, I want to, you know, try this again. I've been a vegetarian before. I was probably, when I started this, I was probably more hardcore the time before. And I had also done a raw foods diet for 30 days. I will say this, and every time I say this on here, I feel like I have to defend myself because people are like, why don't you do a raw foods diet? The best I have ever felt, and I actually have recently thought about going back and doing a raw foods diet. The best I have ever felt in my entire 52 years of being alive was when I was doing a raw foods diet. I did it the month of November. I don't remember when. I think it was the year before I was on YouTube. There were quite a few YouTubers that were doing raw foods diets that I would watch. And I would watch them and how they cooked things and stuff like that. Raw foods is basically where you don't cook things over a certain degrees and you don't eat anything that's, you know, whatever, and just like drink water. And you can eat as much as you want to eat. So if you want to eat like 3 bunches of bananas a day, you can eat 3 bunches of bananas. You just don't cook anything. It's all raw fruits and vegetables and nuts. My headaches went away. I slept so much better. I was happier literally I mean, it took like 3 days and then it was like, it kicked in. I was happy every single day. I mean, it was weird. It was weird. I mean, I felt like high off of eating this food. I would make these huge salads. The one thing I did allow myself was like this, the what do you call it? The yogurt salad dressing. Do you know what I'm talking about? And I would I'd make a huge salad every night for dinner and put like nuts in it and all this kind of stuff. And I would allow myself 1 tablespoon or 1 teaspoon of that and just kind of like, so it had a little bit of flavor to it. But I was eating those salads every day. It was so expensive, you guys. I was spending like $30 to $40 a day. And I mean, I was going through like a bunch and a half of bananas a day. I was eating all kinds of fruit. And I felt so great when I was doing that. I've actually thought like doing it again for maybe like a week and then seeing how it goes. And with that, I lost like 20 pounds right away too. And I felt great. My headaches went away. I was sleeping. And people are like, well, why do you not do that now? Like, why don't you keep it up? At the time that I did it, I was so laser focused on it. It didn't seem... I've only known a few people. Like, I have a very dear friend of mine that's like a raw food enthusiast. For me, it didn't seem sustainable over a long period of time. It wasn't like you could ever go and eat at a restaurant. And if you did, literally the only thing you could get was maybe like a salad, and you'd have to be very careful about like what they put on it and dressings and all that kind of stuff and how it was prepared. I mean, you can't even eat bread because bread has been baked and things like that. So, I mean, it's literally you're putting raw foods into your body. It's like, there's a whole theory behind, if you want to know more about it. I don't really know that much about it, but because I've forgotten a lot, and I also, like, I didn't do it for that long. But I will say this, I felt fantastic doing it. I physically felt fantastic. It's the best I've ever felt my entire life. I just didn't feel like it was sustainable for a long period of time. I just didn't feel like I could keep it up for like a year or whatever. I think as far as like a cleanse to do it, if you're gonna do it for, I think I did it from like November until like Thanksgiving, and then on Thanksgiving, like I stopped doing it. I think to do it for like a couple weeks or a month as like a cleanse, I think would be great. I don't remember like once I stopped like feeling like crap, like instantly. I don't remember feeling like, oh God, my body just like feels like crap now. I don't remember that. I remember thinking, I want to eat some stuff. And now, like, you know, like, this has been a lot. I think I did it before I was a vegetarian again. I feel like it was the year before that. But what was crazy was that you would eat when you were, like, this isn't crazy, but, like, you were supposed to eat when you're hungry. And you could eat as much as you wanted to. So I can remember, like, I would eat, like, 3 bananas, an apple, a handful of nuts, all this kind of stuff. And then, like, an hour later, I was, like, ravenously hungry again. And I'd eat, like, another banana, like, you know, whatever, make a salad. I mean, my salads that night, I had these huge plastic bowls, and it was, like, these huge salads I was making. And I would just sit there and eat these salads, and I was like, I never, like, I just didn't ever feel like I got full, you know? And so it was really about feeding your body for what it needs. I haven't really looked into it for years and years and years. It just didn't seem sustainable for me, like, in the world that I live in, to do it for very long. But, like I said, I felt fantastic. I really did. I mean, so many people afterwards asked me, they said, if you feel this good, like, why are you, like, stopping? Like, I did that. Did you guys ever watch that documentary? It's called, I mean, I've done every fad diet, everything out there, but it's the one called Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead. It's about the guy that goes across the United States juicing. He's from, I think, Australia. And he does this juice, and it's called the Mean Green, and it has like an apple and ginger and kale and all this kind of stuff on it, okay? I could literally probably pull it up in my phone, and I bet you anything I have the Mean Green juice recipe in my phone on my pictures to this day, because I did this. Let me look at that. Mean Green. Mean Green. If I have it pulled up. Oh my God, I do. Look, mean green juice. I have it right here. Mean green juice. These are the ingredients that were put into the juicer to make Phil Staples' primary meal of the day during his juice fast. 1 bunch of kale, 4 stalks of celery, 1 cucumber, 2 Granny Smith apples, half a lemon, ginger root. Okay, I did that. And the documentary was powerful. And he talked about how, like, he was off of all of his medications and everything went back. And he, like, all these people did it. And they're like, oh my God, I'm off my medications. My, like, charts are through the roof. I'm feeling great, blah, 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 whatever. Okay, I did that, and I tried to keep on doing it over and over and over again, and it just never took. But, like, day 3, I was like, if there is a hell, this is a hell. Like, I mean, it was not good. I felt sick to my stomach all the time. The juice sucks. It's gross. He's like, oh, it's just like apple juice. No, it's not. Everything tastes like ginger root. If you put ginger root into any juicer, everything tastes like ginger root. If you have ginger root in any smoothie, everything, it tastes like Bloody Mary. Ginger roots taste like a Bloody Mary. Everything tastes like ginger root. And so that's all I was doing, was drinking these mean greens, and I felt like my body was slowly dying. No, true story, I did. I felt like I was like losing energy every day when it was supposed to do the opposite of it. And then people were like, you're not drinking enough of it. I was like drinking enough of it. I know I was. And then, oh, because I think the reason why I started it was because of migraines, because there was like this one woman on the documentary, and she's like, my migraines completely went away. That never happened. I don't remember. Maybe it did for a day or 2 or something, but I just remember being like, it was not pretty, okay? Like, let me just tell you. The bathroom became my best friend. It was not pretty, and I was like, I'm not doing this anymore. We still have the juicer in there. I haven't like got rid of it yet. But then I remember talking to my friend, actually the raw food enthusiast, and she's like, the reason why that juicing thing is not good is that you need fiber from the fruits and vegetables. When you're juicing, you're not getting any of the fiber from that. So if you're going to juice, what you should do is take some of the pulp from the juice and put it back into the juice, so you're getting the fiber and you're getting the pulp from the fruits and vegetables. And I'm like, well, isn't that kind of counterproductive to juicing? Like, shouldn't you just eat the fruits and vegetables? And she's like, exactly. And so, like, what she believed was completely... Anyway, I think all of that, the raw foods diet, and I think that the juicing and all of it are just newer, healthier fads of diets that have been around. They're just not sustainable, you know, at all. I think making healthier choices, being more active, moving more, drinking a lot of water, preventative medicine, checking in with your doctor and things like that. I think those things, for eye doctors, all of it, checking all that stuff out, I think for me, that's the best route to go. I don't know that... And I enjoyed all those things. Like when I was doing the raw foods diet, it was fun to go to the grocery store and like buy a bunch of fruits and vegetables, and I would try all kinds of new stuff that I'd never tried before. Oh, Alex just came downstairs. I would try all kinds of stuff that I had never tried before, you know? And that was fun, you know, but... well, he was down here for 2 seconds, but it kind of like lost its, I don't know, after a while. I will say this, it didn't take anything for me to stop doing the raw foods diet, so I must have been ready by the end to be done with it. But I don't feel like that as a vegetarian. Like, Caroline made some joke the other day, and she goes, why don't we just quit this vegetarian thing? I'm like, no, like, I'm not gonna quit it. I don't even really... It's funny that I'm talking so much about it, because I don't really think that much about it, you know? I mean, every once in a while... Like, it's interesting because people are like... If I go into a steakhouse and a steak smells good, and I'll tell somebody that, or if I say it online, people will be like, it's because your iron levels are really low. No, that's not true, okay? And I've talked to enough professionals and vegans about that. They're like, yeah, people always say that, but that's not necessarily true. My iron levels are completely fine. Sometimes the steak just smells good. Before, chicken fingers smelled really good. The time that I was a vegetarian before, chicken fingers never smell good to me anymore. I can't remember the last time. Actually, I walked in the house yesterday when he made those. Was that yesterday or the day before? I was like, it's like gag a maggot. There's certain like meat things that just like, I can't. It doesn't smell good, you know? Stuff on a grill, I don't know why. I either like, oh my God, that smells so good on the grill, or that is like the nastiest smell I've ever smelled in my entire life. It's like one or the other. It either smells really, really good, or it's like, ugh, I'm gonna be sick to my stomach. I think I process kind of like the idea of like burning flesh or something. Like it kind of like goes through my head. Did my dad text me? What did he text me? Oh, bloody, oh, bloody, life was gone. My dad's telling me, like, when he died. He's like, he died in 2004. And he's like, so it would have been sometime in the 20 to 30 years before that. Okay, Dad, that's not helpful. I'm like, okay, thanks. Can you be a little bit more specific? Oh, we texted right back. Ha ha. Well, I don't know. I don't know what the movie was. It'll come to me upon a midnight clear. This woman looks so over it. She's walking down the street and she's like talking on her phone. She's holding the phone like this. And he just said something. The guy just said something. And she went, like, not looking at me. She just went like, I can't handle this anymore. Well, listen, okay, I've now talked about vegetarianisms. I have to say Nelson Mandela, the Mandela effect. Is that what it's called? Because I used to say Mandela. And I wondered forever why people, here's the true Mandela effect, is that I never even connected that it had anything to do with Nelson Mandela, okay? Which my mom would be like so over if she was sitting here right now. She'd be like, why didn't you connect those two? I just didn't. I never connected the two because I wasn't saying it correctly. I was saying Mandela instead of Mandela. Anyway, well, wiggle your toes, all of you, for me. Every time a bell rings, an angel gets its wings. Okay, if you wiggle your toes, then at like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, I will remember what the Christmas movie was, because apparently it was not. It came upon a midnight clear. But who knows? We were at... the last time we went to Florida was sometime in the last 20 or 30 years, which that can't even be right. Hold on a second. Let's see. This is just going to be easier if I just pull out the 2004 minus 30. 1974. I would have been 2. That's not right, Dad. Okay. 2004 minus 20 would have been 1984. We're back to 1984. No, what is it with the year 1984? Anyway. Do you know what is so bizarre? Is I have this memory of being like in the back row of this class. I think it was like, see, now I'm trying to figure out how old I would have been. Well, it was 1980, so I would have been 8 years old. I feel like it was 2nd grade, and I was sitting like, if you walked in the room, there was like 1, 2, 3, 4 classes, and I was in the first one, so it would have been like 2-1. Remember, it was like 2-1, 2-2, 2-3, 2-4. I think it was like 2-1, and I was in the back row, and I literally remember writing on a paper, looking out the window. And it must have been like in the January or February because it was snowing outside. It was cold outside. It was snowing. And I remember writing on my paper 1980. Is that not so weird that I remember that? The year 1980? I don't know why I remember that, but I do. Is that a Mandela effect? Mandela effect? Okay, I gotta get off here now, okay? So I can go for my walk. Maybe I can like catch up with her and then I can hear what she's talking about. And then I'll let you guys know tomorrow. No. Anyway, I gotta go finish my misfortune book. Anyway. I hope that you guys are having a magically amazing Sunday, and I hope that you have a fantastic beginning to your week. If anybody has any suggestions of what movie that was a made-for-TV Christmas movie that would have come out on Thanksgiving of when I was, let's say, between 7 and 9, which would have been 1979 to 1981, okay? Or it probably was Miracle on 34th Street, and I'm just getting that confused somehow. Anyway, I hope that you guys are having a magically amazing Sunday, and I hope that you have a fantastic beginning to your week. I hope you're getting refreshed, rejuvenated, relaxed, and renewed for the week ahead. Let's all have a great week, okay? And go into it with a positive attitude. If nobody else has told you this today, I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye. Love ya!